Hi, Cindy. Hi, Diane. We get a lot of people joining in. All right. Hey, hey, Andrea. I can see you, girl. Hi. Okay. We'll wait a few minutes, guys, because there are a lot of people joining in right now.
Was it a world leader? Was it a member of your own agency? We had a large group of people, right?
And
I made a decision to close off to China. That was weeks early. And
I'm gonna have to mute everybody because there's a lot of background noise.
He said it's racist.
Hey, Alicia.
Hi.
Hi, hi.
More people would be dead right now.
All right.
Doesn't matter. We made a great decision.
1 second, guys. We will be starting momentarily.
I understand it, but they really, you know. Conversation at present day. In the past day and a half, we got a lot of attention within us.
I just sent you something. You can open it. All right. So a lot of people joining. All right.
Wednesday 15 is next Monday today. Are you doing a 9? What are you trying to get?
One second, guys. We will be starting. All right. Diane, do me a favor. I cannot get my password for Facebook Live, so I need that information.
Want me to email you?
I need my password for Facebook so I can.
I'll text you. I'll text you.
And it's embarrassing because people know that I don't even freaking know my password for Facebook now, you know? Amazing.
2 days ago. They just changed it. Hold on a sec.
They just changed my password. Okay. Right. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, 1 second. All right. Diane, as soon as you said, okay, I got it now. Okay. 1 second, guys. I just need to put this password in so I can go in live. One second. All right. Thank you for your patience. I'm trying to get us on Facebook Live also because several people want to attend that. I think we are okay now.
Yeah.
I think we are okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is, for now, I am going to mute everybody so that there is no much background noise. And later on, I will just open the microphone so you guys can join the conversation. So I'm sure pretty much the people who join are people who know of me and my business partner Costas. We are owners of the hands-on companies, and we've been physical therapists for many, many years, since 1987, if I may say. So we are we have been through ups and downs in life and in business, and we feel that at this point, because the physical therapy profession has been very gracious to support many of our business endeavors, whether it was hands-on seminars or hands-on diagnostics or anything that we have done, we feel an obligation at this point to really help by giving back anything we can, even if it is advice or even an ear to listen to and brainstorm and help provide some solutions to what we are going through right now, all of us. So I will be doing this every single day, and when I'm saying every single day, I mean even during weekends. Tomorrow, it's possible that Costas and I were not going to be here in New York tomorrow. I'll tell you why. Or another day, I may do it somewhere from the street, or another day, I may do it with a guest. It's amazing that the moment we announced that we are doing this daily town hall, so many good people that have good and valuable information have reached out to us that they want to participate, and definitely there'll be guests to share good information with all of you in the days to come. So, but in this first town hall meeting, before I open the mics and ask anybody to share anything they want, I would like to share three different things. The first thing is that, look, the environment around us right now seems to be very threatening, right? There is, very dangerous information that comes from everywhere, especially those of us who are in New York. We have been, many businesses have been asked to shut down unless they are essential medical businesses. Physical therapy businesses are considered essential medical by the governor, and we got even this morning a memorandum from the New York Physical Therapy Association indicating that physical therapy business is an essential business. And I will explain to you why. The reason they consider it essential business is because they believe that physical therapy can help flatten the curve. It is also the position of the American Physical Therapy Association and the private practice section of the APTA that physical therapy is an essential business, and because exactly it helps flatten the curve. Now you will ask me how physical therapy will help flatten the curve. Okay, so guys, whether we like it or not, some patients get infected from the coronavirus when they visit their doctor's offices. So when a physical therapist manages to keep people away from an urgent care center, from a medical office, or from a hospital, that the patient goes to the hospital because they have a back pain, they have some other related problem, that helps people. If these people go and see a physical therapist, there is less chances that this person will get contaminated, and then physical therapists help to flatten the curve. So this is the premise behind helping flattening the curve. So that is the first thing that I wanted to share with you, that yes, there are dangers around the environment. However, there is a little bit of panic also, and people get panicky. So what I am saying and what I am suggesting is that instead of living in panic and fear, that we live in an environment where we decide to control things as much as we can, including controlling our bodies. So when we use this, okay, when we use frequent hand washing, when we take a double dose of zinc daily, when we take some potassium, when we take hot baths, when we maintain that social distancing, if we happen to have, let's say, steam or sauna, keeping it in high temperature for 20 minutes and breathing in and out, when we eat well. By the way, I just had some gyro. The staff brought it, okay? And if we do some daily exercise, that is helping us take control of our bodies so that we don't get contaminated and we don't get to contaminate others. It's a dual responsibility, us not to contaminate our bodies and us not to contaminate others. If everybody does that, we're going to flatten the curve and we're going to be able to get rid of this situation as quickly as possible. Now, the second thing I want to share with you comes from an introduction that I did in the COVID-19 PT Private Practice Forum that we had this past Saturday. So I'm going to share with you a couple of slides on PDF from that because I want to make a point about this, especially if you are a private practice owner. I would like to make a point about this. So here is what I would like to share. So if you are owning a business, a physical therapy business, or even if you are staff and maybe you have a side job or something, let's look at this for a moment. Let's look at a business or an individual who is making, let's say right now, $100,000. They may make that $100,000 in a month, in a day, in a year, in 2 years. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying that yes, they are making $100,000 over a specific period of time. This $100,000 after the coronavirus passes will decrease, will be, I mean, during the time, because people are losing their jobs, patients are afraid to come. If we do nothing about it, you are going to have in your practice or in your life an income from $100,000 down to 50, or perhaps even guys lower. Maybe it's going to go to 0. If you have a physical therapy private practice and you shut down your door, your income is going to go to 0. So guess what's going to happen? After this is all over, you are going to have a very slow path to recovery. If your business is 0 right now because of coronavirus, it's going to take you very long time to recover, or you may even recover at a lesser point than you were before COVID-19. So the message I want to give is that instead of doing nothing right now, you have to identify solutions to somehow keep in business with some mitigation strategies. You gotta implement some mitigation strategies to stay as close to your income as possible. Okay, right now, actually, I'm gonna share this with you. It's you know, I'm not gonna keep it as a secret. I'm not gonna say numbers anyway. Kostas and I were just discussing a moment ago that in terms of income, we have managed to somehow manage to be at about 50 to 60% of our previous income. So we are looking at a more firm implementation of mitigation strategies to manage to increase that a little bit more. Yes, things will be down, but if we manage to be at the point that we have maybe a 20 or 30% reduction instead of an 80% or 100% reduction, the path to recovery will be faster. And if you also manage the mitigation strategies that you are going to follow right now to be able to apply them in a post-COVID-19 environment, then guess what? Your potential for growing can be exponential. It can be really great. So my second message to you is that something can be done about it, and you have to implement mitigation strategies right here, right now, in order to be able to not just survive, but thrive in the business, in the marketplace after this is all over, because it will be over. This is a temporary thing we're having right now. Life might change. Maybe the 6,000 people cruise ships will change. Maybe we'll have these 6,000 people cruise ship for only 2,000 people. Maybe finally we'll be able to breathe inside an aeroplane instead of sitting like that, okay? Or maybe we'll have a little bit more space in a movie theater or in a restaurant in Manhattan that we cannot hear the person breathing on my neck next to me, you know? There'll be a little bit more space perhaps. So things might change a little bit. But being able to survive and do business and thrive in the marketplace after COVID-19 is important. And the third thing that I would like to share with you today, because I'm hearing from people, how about my staff? I had to let go of so many staff. I had to furlough for so many staff. How about them? What's gonna happen afterwards? What if they don't come back to me? So if you are a business owner, please do not cut your communication lines. And even if you are not a business owner, if you are an employee, do not stop communicating. Do not cut your communication lines. Okay, before COVID-19, you were in a specific condition, okay? If now, because of what happened, you stop communicating with your past employees or with your patients or the employees, if you are an employee and you're watching this, you stop communicating with your boss that you have been furloughed from that business or from patients that you have a following with, game will be over. So instead, maintain communication. Every couple of days, call up your employees. These were your past employees. Call them up. See how they are doing. It doesn't have to be about business. It can be a casual conversation about how they are feeling. Are they sick? Do they need any help? Do a callback program and call your patients, not necessarily telling them, hey, come back to me. Just to find out how they are doing. How are you? We are calling from, our company is Hands-On Physical Therapy. Hi, Mrs. Smith. This is Laura calling from Hands-On Physical Therapy. We're just calling to find out how you are doing. A genuine call. Maintaining communication can really be one of the best investments you are going to make right now. So these were my 3 things for today. 1, handle the dangerous environment, confront the situation and handle it, put some more control in your life and in your business and in your environment. Number 2, manage to identify some mitigation strategies to help lessen the decrease of income you are having right now so that you can be able to significantly grow and even thrive after the COVID-19 is away. And number three, being able to keep in communication with patients, keeping an ongoing communication with your staff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open I'm going to unmute you guys. So, okay, I hear background noises. So let me do this. Let me do this. I muted you again, but you can unmute yourself. So why don't you unmute yourself and ask a question or make a comment or anything you want? Go ahead. We'll do it this way.
I would add something, Dimitra, which is
Yeah, Andrea.
in terms of communication, I would also encourage people to communicate with their referral sources. And, you know, I've reached out to doctors who refer to me and just say, you know, how are you doing? And is there anything I can do to help you? And like that, just to piggyback on what you just said.
I totally agree with you. I want to tell you guys that in our practice, we are converting a lot of patients to telehealth right now. I'll give you some statistics. Again, I'm very open to talk about that. In our Astoria office, yesterday we had about 65 appointments scheduled. Usually the number is higher than that. Usually it's about 100 a day. We had 65 scheduled. Out of 65, we got to see about 25 live patients, but we end up seeing 10 patients on telehealth. So, and this number on telehealth, it will be increasing. So continue communicating with your doctors and communicating to them the fact that either you are still open and seeing patients or you are doing telehealth is very, very important. Absolutely, Andrea. Every communication line you have, whether they are physicians, patients, staff, needs to continue. Any other question? You can unmute your mic if you'd like to ask something or make a comment. Okay, let me ask this question to you guys. How many people here, and again, I have not created a poll to be able to show it as a poll. I can ask, let me see. Yeah, I cannot create a poll right now, but I can ask you to type a yes or a no in the chat field. If you have to let go of staff, type on the chat area the word yes. And if you didn't have to let go of any staff, type no. And if, let's say, you don't have any staff, but you are working solo, just type NA, not applicable. So I just want to get an idea. Okay, Andrea had to fire herself, yes. All right, okay. Okay, some people, they haven't yet, but they expect next week. An advice on that, okay, yeah, this is what I want to say about Cindy. Cindy, can you unmute your microphone? Can you explain a little bit the way you did it? Because we did that too, and I would like you to explain how you switched people to hourly. Go ahead.
We basically, our therapists are salaried and we have our marketing director and administrative people that are salaried as well. So we just across the board put everyone to hourly. It was very helpful. I believe it was we've been in so many webinars. I believe it was yours on Saturday where we had the compliance person came on first. And the big news from that really was whatever you do, do it consistently across the board. So we put everybody on hourly. We, the previous week, last week, we were just trying to figure out what we were doing. So we had each person kind of took a day off, and we still had some patients coming into the clinic. We still do have a few, of course it's less this week again, but in doing that, we just had them each sign the letter from my husband and myself, letting them know that that was what we were doing for now. We were trying, you know, very supportive. Here's the long picture. We're really trying to keep things going. And this is what we're doing for now. We're currently finding that there's no reimbursement at all in the state of Kansas for insurance for telemedicine, unfortunately, but we're working on that. And there's they're trying to have the governor do an executive order. So if it comes out to be reimbursed at the same level, then we can keep people at their hourly rate, maybe fewer hours. That's our hope.
Gimme?
Yeah, exactly. Make sure that if you if you furlough people or if you let people go, you cannot say, hey, John works for 40 hours a week and he is making, I don't know, $100,000 a year, and Mary works 40 hours a week and she's making $70,000 a year. I'm going to keep Mary and I'm going to get rid of Joe. You cannot use salary as a basis of deciding who you are going to let go or furlough. You have to use other things. One of the things you can use is time of hire. The people that have been with you a longer period of time are the people that you that it is expected that you keep in the business. People that you have hired most recently are people that it is expected for you to let go easier. Okay, so that is one of the methods that you can use. You can also use productivity with no problem, as long as you have appropriate statistics that you keep, that you measure productivity. You can use productivity measures to decide who you will let go and who you will keep in your business. So. Sorry, just figured out how to chat. Answer is yes. Okay, good. Also, guys, let me explain that tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time, Costas and I are going to do a telehealth webinar. I just put in the chat section the registration. You can go to covid19ptforum.com. You'll find the registration there. Now, it's at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What we're going to explain to you on that, it will be the first of a series of webinars on telehealth. So we are going to do just an overview of what we did, how we applied it in our practice, and what problems we found and how we troubleshoot those problems, okay? But then we're gonna have additional webinars on telehealth where we are going to bring specific individual specialists to talk to you about specific things. For example, we are going to, in subsequent telehealth webinars, we're going to spend an entire webinar discussing specifically about billing. What are the billing techniques, what you need to do and not to do, and how billing for telehealth differs in different states and different insurances. So we're going to have a specialist who has literally called every single state, every single insurance carrier, and he has data on that, and we'll invite him on that. We're gonna bring another guest in a subsequent event like this, where we are going to discuss how to market the telehealth services and so on and so forth. So we'll do about 4 or 5 telehealth webinars so that we can provide you guys with overall information as to how to implement them, what courses you can take to be able to apply, what platform to use, and so on and so forth. So we'll have all this information. Also, tomorrow at 1 p.m., we're going to have a brief a brief meeting like this, because tomorrow actually Costas and myself, we're going to be in the state of Maryland. We're driving to Maryland. We have a satellite location there, and we'll be driving to do some patient testing. Some of the things we do is we do EMG testing, nerve conduction testing, musculoskeletal ultrasound, functional capacity evaluations, and we have scheduled patients tomorrow in our Maryland location, and we'll be going there because we're not giving up. We're doing something about it. We're taking precautions for ourselves and our patients, but guess what? Every penny counts now, okay? So we are soldiers out there and doing what we have to do so that we overcome this situation, you know? Does anyone know if telehealth rules are relaxed across state lines? The answer is yes. Telehealth rules in regards to HIPAA compliance, they are relaxed across state lines. Okay. Okay, in regards to questions, more questions like more detailed questions for telehealth, come back to tomorrow, guys. Sam, the answer you're asking is complicated. I can tell you that here is a quick response to that. Oxford and United Healthcare, they just announced half hour ago that they will be paying for telehealth services until middle of, I think, June 20th. Okay, so they have relaxed guidelines until June 20th and they will be paying. That's Oxford and United Healthcare made the announcement half an hour ago. In regards to Medicare, it's a complicated answer because Medicare does not pay for telehealth, they pay for e-visits. So we can talk about that tomorrow. All right. Okay, guys, look, it's supposed to be half an hour. We're 32 minutes in. Thank you all for participating. I hope you got something out of it. Our love to you, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everyone.